Oh, yeah. Hey. Can you dig it? You know you can. What? Who's the man with the master plan? Shaft. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. It's Untethered Live on a Friday night, and I'm your host, Jake Johnson, and joining me is the bandhammer, Amanda.
Howdy, Untethered Live family.
What's going on? Is it cold enough for you out there?
Yeah, it's cold, all right.
It's cold.
It's colder than a witch's tit on the 4th of July.
But you know what, though?
What?
I got a nice hot cup of coffee to combat that cold.
Uh-huh.
It's lovely, thank you.
You're welcome.
If you'd like to have a cup with me, go to the kitchen, pour yourself up a nice hot cup, and let's get to talking about something.
Hoo-hoo.
If you don't have a cup, though, you can get one in the description below. I recommend the first one that has my face on it. It is fantastic. But we also got stainless steel tumblers down there, big ones and little ones. They got the Untethered Live Bible Study logo on the front, all the platforms on the back, locking lids. They keep your coffee hot for hours, and they look great on your coffee tables to get one while supplies last. Also, like, subscribe, share, support, join, and super chats are available in the chat box if you'd like to show a little bit of love. But if you'd like to, you can do that at CashApp $JakeJohnsonBand or PayPal.me/JakeJohnsonBand, and I greatly, greatly appreciate it if you do. Thank you very much. And now, one last thing. If you'd like to hang out with us outside of YouTubeverse, get to know us on a personal level, share pictures, videos, texts, memes, and chat, you can do that at Facebook.com/UntetheredLiveChillin'. The link is in the chat. It's a great place to hang out and get to know each other. It's got a group chat over there for just us. It's not all of Facebook. It's just everybody for this show. So you can talk about private stuff and be reasonably sure that you won't get doxxed. And it's updated regularly with videos that are adjacent to the things we talk about over here. It's entertaining, it's free, it's fun, it's yours, and it's over there. So go check that out, if you would please. And now, on with the show.
Howdy, Untethered Live family. Good to see y'all. Everyone has had a good week.
Camel, camel.
Stay warm, y'all. We got snow coming tonight. For sure.
For sure. They say.
It's coming. The whole state is covered in snow. It's not going to miss us.
So they say.
Okay, we'll see.
I'm sure it'll snow, but I don't think it's going to snow a lot, but it might. It might surprise us.
Well, what did you say, 18 inches is what we're expecting?
They call for 18.
Okay, so we'll probably get 12.
Nah, maybe. It might stick and might not. I don't know.
Well,
the temperature goes up and down around here, so.
Well, it's not going up above 32 tomorrow, so it's going to be snowing. It's in the 20s now.
I got to walk to the store tomorrow because my truck broke down. Got to go get some gas for the bike. Yeehaw. Because I'll be riding the bike in the snow.
Hiya, Jake. How are you tonight?
I'm fantastic. It's been a day. How are you?
I am good.
I had a lovely dinner. Had a nice big old fat pork chop and some macaroni and cheese and some broccoli and some butter beans. Big ones. Big fat butter beans. Nice. It was lovely. Yeah, I wish you all could have had some of it. And we have leftovers, so, if you can stop by.
Ain't nobody going out this cold.
I'm just saying. You don't know what you're missing. I'm a little hoarse tonight because of the cold, but it is what it is.
I can't wait to see Tribble in the snow. It's going to be funny.
I can't wait to see you in the snow when I push you in it.
Hey.
Face first. And
yeah, just remember that.
I will remember it. It's the first thing on my to-do list.
Yeah, I'll take you down with me.
You think? You're going to have to try. You better eat some Wheaties tonight. Mabel's here. Hi, Mabel. She says, ciao, everyone. Jake and Amanda, how are you? Fantastic. How are you, sweet? Nice to see you.
Mabel and Hannah, who's your gold star?
Oh, that's right. You get a gold star for being first in chat. Is this your first gold star?
No, I don't think so.
You got it. You can tell your grandkids about this gold star and how you traveled through the snow, climbing up the hill with nothing but your fingernails on just to get that gold star. And now it's a figment of your imagination, and they can have it too.
Mabel and Hannah, hamburger helper hand. And we are good, thanks. Hope y'all are doing good too.
Beautiful smiley face. Mabel says, I do not know how long we will stay. We flew to Toronto for a connect flight to Poland, but our flight is delayed, so we are hanging out at the airport. Wow, you're going to Poland. Nice. Well, I wish you a good journey, and I hope that you guys are safe, and hope everything works out the way you're hoping it will.
Oh, well, y'all be safe and enjoy.
And definitely don't get snowed in at the airport. That would suck.
No, it's coming across the middle of the United States. Canada's not involved in this storm.
Yeah, I know where it's at. I was just, in general, it snows there a lot.
Yeah, no.
And Mabel says, thanks, Amanda. Kevin Bernard, what's up, brother? Nice to see you. Kevin says, hello, Jake, Amanda, and Miss Mabel. Nice to see you, Kev. How you doing out there?
Hamburger helper hand, Kevin.
I hope you got lots of snow to contend with, which is good, for the bottom line and all. Kevin says, Miss Mabel, it was good to hear from Victor the other night. Yes, it was. Mabel says, ciao, Kevin. How are you? Kevin says, I'm good. Mabel, yourself? Patty Donahue, got your phone back, I see. Nice. She says, hello, chillins. Hi, Patty. Hope you're staying warm.
Hi, Patty, hamburger helper hand. Welcome back to your name.
Welcome back to your name.
Now people won't be calling you Wesley.
And Kevin says, hello, Patty. Patty says, I have my phone working for the moment. I hear you. Know how that is.
That's good, Patty. Hope it keeps working.
Amen. Here's a link to the page if anybody wants to check that out. Patty says, hi to ladies and outlaws. Nice to see you, Patty. And everyone good? I reckon so. I mean, it's cold, but other than that, ain't nothing you can complain about. It's been a good day. It's Friday, so yay.
And yes, trying to stay warm, waiting on the snow tonight.
China. Vagina. What? I feel like I'm gaining weight. Do you see that? I got jowls.
That's what happens when you got somebody that takes care of you.
I know. Stop taking care of me.
Okay.
Fab Daddy's here. He says, happy Friday, everyone. Hey, Fab Daddy. Nice to see you, brother. How are you? I got my YouTube shirt on. Do you have a YouTube shirt? This is what you get for 10 years of service. A shirt.
You missed Patty's last comment.
Patty says, Don loves women, not men. Who's Don? I don't know who Don is, but I would assume he loves women. I mean, if you're talking about Don Juan or Don Jr.
Lemon, Lemon.
Don Lemon? No. He's definitely a Peter Puffer. Definitely. A sausage sucker. Trust me on that one. He's lighting the loafers, that guy.
Oh, no.
What's going on with the truck, says Fab Daddy. Oh, well, thank you for asking. I don't know exactly. The last time we had a hard freeze, it started leaking water. I think it busted something. And I hadn't had time to fix it or the money to take it to a mechanic, so I've just been putting water in it, every time I drive it. Well, then it started making this rattling sound. It sounded a lot like lifters rattling after it ran hot one time when I discovered that it was, not containing its water. As soon as I discovered it, I put water in it. It was fine. But it started rattling, and so I thought it was the water pump or something like that. Well, tonight when I got home from work, I got out of the truck, got into the house, and I had to go back to town, so I went back out to the truck. Won't crank. It was going row, 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 row. Sounds like a timing issue. I'm not sure.
It's done.
I don't think it's done. I think it needs definite work. But if that's the case, I'll sell it to the junkyard and buy another one.
It's got over 300,000 miles on it now, so.
It's just a thing. It's just a machine.
But for the price we paid for it, it lasted us a good year. So.
Yeah, it definitely paid for itself.
And Jake's not easy on vehicles at all.
Hard on them either. I don't hot rod, nothing like that.
No, he doesn't hot rod. He just doesn't drive below 70 miles an hour.
I just drive, period. I'm not hard on cars. But this was not my fault. This was a temperature thing. I didn't blow the truck up if that's what you're asking. No. Kevin says, hello, Fab Daddy. And you said...
Hamburger helper hand, Fab.
There you go. Fab says, hi, Kevin. Mabel says, I guess my message did not send. Vic attempted to leave the hospital late Wednesday night. Oh, no. No, I didn't hear that. Is he okay? Did they keep him there? Mabel says, Polish authorities caught him at the border trying to cross into Ukraine. Yeah, that's not good. I hope he's okay. I hope that they don't put him in jail or anything. Those kind of jails are not fun.
Oh, no, Mabel. I hope he's okay.
Yeah. Please send our love and tell him to stay put. And Mabel says, I think he is okay, but the doctors are not. And one of his commanders is traveling to Poland and to speak with him. So hopefully that goes well. Yeah, hopefully. I hope he doesn't get discharged for that. They might consider that going AWOL. I hope not. I mean, a dickhead might think that. If he's got a good commander, though, he might look past that and just see it as restlessness. I mean, I know why he did that, but they might not look at it that way. But I hope that they're lenient on him. Absolutely. I hope this is his first issue with them, so maybe they'll just look over it, and hopefully. But it's a good thing you're going to be close by, because that might go bad. Please keep us updated on what that's all about.
Well, damn, Mabel. Hope you get to him soon.
Amen. I'm sorry that happened. And Mabel says, I don't know that he broke any laws. I have no idea. He has said he likes his commanders, so hopefully they will be good to him. Well, I don't know how you guys' army works. Our army, if you attempt to leave, that's considered abandoning your post, and they consider that going AWOL, and they don't think very funny about that. They don't like that very much. So back in the Vietnam days, guys would take off from the base and go to the strip club or whatever, and they'd get put in jail for it, have to spend time in the brig because they left their post. So I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know anything about that military or what they think is right and wrong.
Well, he is under medical leave, so I don't think that they would be considering him under a post. So that might be what's going in his favor.
Hopefully. I just don't know enough about that kind of situation. Not if you're trying to get back to your unit. That's true, right? Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking, and I don't know what the situation is over there legal-wise, so I don't know if you got anything to worry about. I wouldn't put the cart before the horse and worry about it until you know something. But it's a scary situation no matter what it is. And Fab Daddy says he did complain about being in the hospital. I think he said, screw it, I'm heading back in. Maybe. Yeah, he didn't seem to be happy about having to sit and wait about healing. He stayed here for a long while, though. We talked for a good 45 minutes. Mabel says, I have no idea how it works with the Legion, as it is not connected to the Canadian forces in any way. Right, I don't know anything about it. I wish I did know, but I don't.
Yeah, he was kind of restless wanting out of that hospital.
I'm not sure, but I think Kevin is a military man. He might know more than I do about it, for sure. Kevin, you're a military guy, right? I was thinking that was the case. But at any rate, Mabel, I wouldn't worry about it until there's something to worry about, because that'll just keep you up at night. There's no sense in fearing over the worst when the worst hasn't happened yet. But just stay strong and stay positive and keep your eyes on him. It'll be okay. And Kevin says, no, Jake. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I was thinking maybe it was Aaron that's military. I was thinking you said you were military. I apologize. And Mabel says, I know. I just wish he would be a little less stubborn. Ugh. Love him to death, but he stresses me out, right?
That's their job, Mabel. That's a dual role situation there.
Kevin says, my son was a Marine. Maybe that's what it was you told me.
Son is a Marine.
Is a Marine. What did I say?
Was. Yes, that's their job, is to stress us slap out, Mabel. Make her pull her hair out and everything. Make you want to beat them with a cast iron skillet. Lord knows.
What are we trying to say?
There's been times I wanted to beat you with a cast iron skillet.
For what?
Aggravating the shit out of me. Stressing me out.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, hang on a second.
Yeah.
The phone's for you. It's the pot calling. You're black.
Yeah, no.
Linda Davis is here. She says hi. Jake, Amanda, and Fab, and Mabel, and Patty, and Kevin. Hi, Linda. How are you?
Everybody in this chat can see how hard-headed you are, so they only got a glimpse of what I go through with you.
Mabel says, lucky for him, I can't fit a cast iron skillet in my luggage.
I hear you.
Right?
I hear you.
Kevin says, hamburger help her hand, Linda.
Hamburger help her hand, Linda.
Yeah, I hope he's okay. That's a bad situation to have to be in. We're praying as hard as we can for him.
He's been in the hospital, what, 3 weeks now?
Something like that.
Yeah, I'd be going crazy.
Especially if you were accustomed to all the action that's going on over there.
Yeah.
And then have to go from that to zero. Yeah.
And then can't even watch news on the TV that you know what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah, he was telling me, he says, I can't even enjoy the news or get mad at it because I don't understand what they're saying. I see the pictures, but it don't mean anything. Fab Daddy says, hi, Linda. Fab, how you doing today? Are you cold where you're at in sunny California? Maple says, I think he is just paranoid that they will not send him back. I am sure they will, but he is not in the mindset to think reasonably in the moment. I kind of got that. I wish there was something I could tell you to make that better, but there really isn't. He's in a situation. He's in a space. He's going to have to work through that. And I hope he can. And does. Mabel says, as much as I would like him to just come home, I know he feels very strongly about finishing his contract, right? Amanda?
It's 23 degrees here.
Yep. I got a weather report this afternoon that said it was going to drop down to 3 below tonight.
Yeah.
So 3 below 0 is the low for tonight.
It's supposed to start snowing in about an hour.
Which ain't much. I mean, there's people out there 7 and 14 below, you know. But 3 below is unusual for us. That's pretty cold. That's pipe-breaking weather. And Fab Daddy says, it's upper 40s here. Oh, you lucky man. Upper 40s. My bathroom is the upper 40s.
Right.
You can sit and poop and see your breath and the steam. Kevin says it's 13 degrees in North Jersey. I hear you, buddy. It's supposed to get down below 3 here. I don't know if I'm going to like that or not.
Yeah, that bathroom door is definitely staying open. That's rough to go tinkle in the middle of the night and sit on that cold toilet seat in that cold bathroom, and then you're wide awake and can't go back to sleep.
I keep trying to tell you, bathrooms are supposed to be cold.
No, they're
That's
not
the whole
supposed to
point
be
in the
that cold.
bathroom. Dark, dingy, cold, and depressing.
No.
It's a bathroom. You go in there to poo. That's it.
Well, I don't want it to keep me awake all night. I want to go in there and be able to do my business and get back in bed and go back to sleep without freezing.
Well, I don't want to leave the bathroom door open. That's gross. All kinds of critters crawling out of there.
Whatever. I clean that bathroom almost every day, so I don't want to hear it.
It's a good cup of coffee. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It feels good on my throat.
I just had a yoo-hoo.
I've been in the mood for singing all week, and I can't carry a tune. It's driving me crazy. Fab Day says, I'll send you some sunshine. Might need to. You're going to put it in the envelope. Just make sure you seal the corners so it don't leak out before it gets here.
Yeah, we ain't gonna see no sunshine the next couple of days.
Open the envelope and go,
Blinded by the light.
yeah. Fab Daddy says, good news. The days are getting longer. That just means more cold. There's another hour of cold. Yay. Bill Bennett's here. He says, hello, Untethered Live fam. Good to see you guys. I love you guys. I made most of that up, but he said some of that. Hey, Bill. How are you, buddy?
Hamburger helper him, Bill.
Are you cold? Come on now. Talk to me. What are you guys excited about this week? Kevin says, hamburger helper and Bill. Mabel says, I would also like to say, Kevin and Aaron, Vic has much respect for both of you. And if you have time to email him, I know it would mean the world to him. And Jake too. But I know you already speak with him. Yes. Yeah, I try to keep in touch with him. And Linda says it's -3 here in Pennsylvania right now. The kitchen cold water pipe is frozen.
Uh-oh.
I was up this morning pouring water in my truck, and the water was turning into snow around the hole as it was going in, and it would clog up, and I'd have to stick my finger in it and get the snow out and pour a little bit more. It's kind of crazy. It wasn't turning into ice, it was turning into fluff like snow. It's kind of weird. One jug, I picked it up and I banged the side of it, and it turned into crystals right there right in my vision.
Mm-hmm.
It was water, and it just went. It's cool.
Iced right up. I've done that with soda sometimes.
If you catch it at just the right time, I think it takes an hour and a half of being below freezing. You can catch it while it's still water and hadn't turned to ice yet, and you can actually see it happen.
Yep, and just shake it a little bit and it'll freeze over. Yep, I've done that with soda bottles. Get them in the freezer and pull it out and shake it a little bit and watch it freeze.
Mm-hmm. If you really want to make it cold, add a little salt to it. Pour a little salt in it and then bang it. It'll freeze up instantly, hard as a rock. Kevin says, not a good time of the year to be adding water as a coolant. Best use antifreeze. Well, I would, except antifreeze is very expensive and it leaks right through the engine.
Yeah, you got to put 2 gallons of water in it anytime you go anywhere.
Yeah.
From here to the store, you got to put 2 gallons of water in it.
Yeah, and the hole's getting worse.
And so
and now it won't crank. So
yes, I think it finished itself off today.
It might have. I mean, it may just be a thing I can fix. I don't know. I just have to get into it and find out. I'm not exactly sure what the problem is, but I know about where it is.
Like I said, the way as slow as that motor's turning, something's locked up or broken there somewhere.
Yep, or it may just crank up tomorrow. Who knows? I don't think so, though. I think it's done. So I think what I'm going to do is sell it to the junkyard, have them come out and get it and give me a couple $100 and just add that to a new vehicle. If that's the case. Because I don't want to be buying a new motor and trying to get that in there in the freezing cold. And I certainly don't want to ride my motorcycle any further than I have to in this temperature. So, to work and back will be it. Ugh. It's terrible. Ain't that a kick in the head? Sometimes I think to myself, if nothing else, my life is entertaining. That's for sure. Because you never know what's going to happen next. But something's going to happen next. What do you think, Amanda?
Yeah. Something's definitely going to happen next.
Have you guys been watching Fallout? That's a pretty good show if you hadn't watched it. Kevin, you'd like it. Fab Daddy?
I can't wait for season 3 of Landman.
Mm-hmm. That's coming out pretty soon.
The end of the year?
I think so, yeah.
The end of 26.
Amber Grounds is here. She says, "Good evening, friends. Happy Red Friday. That's ridiculously elderly dwarves."
Hamburger, hammer hand.
Hamburger, hamburger. Kevin says, hamburger helper hand. Amber says, hamburger helper hand and surprise hearts. Amber is very good at hieroglyphics. Mabel says, "We're going to find a place to eat and we will be back. Flight just delayed another 2 hours." Jesus. That's terrible. No doubt the weather. Apparently we're having an Arctic storm all across the whole continent. So that probably is affecting you guys too.
It's probably coming from them.
Coming from the Arctic Circle anyway.
I know when I watched the radar earlier and you could see it just turn blue over the entire state, I was like, ooh.
It's the whole country. If you go, you can tell because you go online and you see all the conspiracy theorists talking about harpa playing, is it harp? HARPP? Or ARPA, I think it is. I can't remember. There's some organization up north that does scientific studies in the Arctic, and they accuse them of futzing with the weather, which obviously they can do, but not in that great a quantity. But that's how you know it's a worldwide phenomenon or a continent-wide phenomenon, because the conspiracy theorists are out in form. It's all because of the lizard people in the flat earth controlling the weather like the Jews. Linda says, hamburger helper hand. See, I shortened it. Amber says, "Oh my gosh, Mabel and Hannah, prayers and hearts." Fab Daddy says, "I watched the new Frankenstein on Netflix. I liked it. The new movie, was it any good or was it what you would expect for Netflix?" I've heard stories about Frankenstein. But I don't know. I'm definitely interested in watching it, though, if it's any good. Mabel says, "Ciao, Amber." Hannah says hi, and we'll be back. Maybe Hannah can come chat a while we eat. Maybe Hannah can come chat while we wait for food. Once we find a place, there are many options and not many good ones that we like. Well, it is an airport. You're lucky to get a ham sandwich. But I'm sure you can find a cup of coffee. They got that. Fab Daddy says, "It was surprisingly good. I'll definitely check it out." And likewise, if you hadn't done so already, on Amazon, watch Fallout. That's a very good adaptation of a video game that you would be into. You ever played Fallout New Vegas? Guillermo del Toro. Yes. I know who you're talking about. That's the director of the new Frankenstein movie. He's the guy that did Hellboy and Shape of Water and Pan's Labyrinth. Remember the guy? So he's a pretty good horror director. He's got a very unique vision. He also did, I can't think of the name of the movie, but it's the guys that drive the big giant robot and fight the Godzilla creatures. Pacific Rim, that's what it's called. He did those movies too, or at least one of them. Mabel says, "Would it be suitable for Hannah, Fab Daddy? Maybe we can watch it on our flight. I have been downloading movies because it is a long flight." Unless he went rated R with it, Frankenstein is a pretty suitable horror movie. It's old school horror, so it's based on old school premises, so it's not going to get too graphic or too, But I don't know. This director has done rated R movies, so I don't know if he went that direction or not, but Fab Daddy could tell you. I know you asked him that, but I'm just putting in my 2 cents. Fab Daddy says, I've seen the game. If you haven't played it, then you might not enjoy it as much, but I figured you'd played it. You are a gamer. But nonetheless, it's a good show. And you can enjoy the show without having played the game. So we watch Fallout, Landman, what's the one with Sylvester Stallone in it?
Tulsa King.
Tulsa King. And there's one more. I can't think of what it is.
No, that's it. That's it.
Kevin says, Mrs. Mabel, safe travels. Mabel says, I'm more concerned about Hollywood woke culture than graphic stuff, honestly. I hear you. Yeah, my guess is there's a little bit of that in it, because just about every movie that's come out in the last decade has some of that in it. They're always pushing the message, but I don't know. I haven't seen it. Fab Daddy probably knows, but he's from California, so he may not recognize it as anti-programming. I don't know. Fab Daddy, do you know what woke looks like? If so, is there any of that in Frankenstein? And Mabel says, grazie, Kevin. And Fab Daddy says, I can't say if it's suitable for Hannah. It's a good depiction of Frankenstein. It did have some violence and zero nudity. Okay, is there any wokeness in it? Like mind virus type stuff? If there's zero nudity, there's probably no gay activity, I'm guessing. And Mabel says, okay, this is good. Thank you, Fab Daddy. I'm guessing it's probably suitable for her to watch. I recall Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, and there's not a lot in there that you could make woke, but the bringing the dead back to life, forsaking God, that might be a subtitle in there. But other than that, I wouldn't think there's a whole lot you could do with that character in that vein. I don't know, though. I will watch it, though, because I like that sort of thing. They tried back in 2010, 2011, somewhere in that area, to reboot Frankenstein twice. There were 2 movies that came out about Frankenstein. One of them was about the doctor in like a Abraham Lincoln versus vampires kind of vein. There's that kind of twist on the story. He was like some kind of detective or something like that. And then there was one where it was the Frankenstein story, but it was subjective. And but both of them were bad movies, so they were not successful in rebooting Frankenstein. So hopefully Guillermo del Toro did a better job at it, which I'm inclined to think he probably did, because he's a pretty good director. I like most of his movies. But you could say that Shape of Water movie had some subjective stuff in it. I mean, there was some considerable bestiality in that movie. So, but if you could look past that, it was a pretty good movie. I think Pan's Labyrinth also had the same problem that The Labyrinth had. You know, the movie, the Jim Henson movie from the 80s, The Labyrinth. It had the same problem. It's a story that's fantastic, but it's about a child being abused. It's one of those allegorical stories. Mabel says, it is crazy that even a movie like Twilight was less woke than 90% of the movies coming out the last decade. Oh, I know, right? I would have never thought it, because I love movies. I am a movie buff. I tried very sincerely to see everything that was ever filmed, and I made a pretty big dent in it. But along about 2015, I just lost all interest in movies, because they just kept coming out with garbage. When they turned when they started making every movie PG-13 or PG, like, you can't make a horror movie PG. There's nothing that happens that's PG rated that could be considered scary. So it just became a giant waste of time. And it got worse as years went on. And now they've moved into TV shows, and they're ruining TV shows, race swapping and subverting characters and destroying masculinity and destroying the hero. And I'm not interested in all that. So they ruined movies for me. Oh, Lord, we got a squirrel going crazy over here. We can't see it, probably. Man, you can't see it.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yes, I think I'm the one that posted that.
Yep.
He eats a jalapeno and then flips over backwards. It's totally AI, but it's totally funny.
Well, that's why I looked at it, because you posted it.
I posted that yesterday or in the middle of the night.
It just happened, so. You could, anytime you want to think about what a movie does, Mabel, look up the Critical Drinker, and look for his reviews on movies. He usually does a review on all the new movies that come out, and he's very level-headed, and I like the way he thinks, and I like the way he analyzes a movie and the writing. I think you'll get a lot out of his reviews. So you can answer a lot of questions about movies by listening to guys like him. Critical Drinker. He's a Scotsman with an attitude, and I love it. I've actually considered doing movie reviews myself, but I don't know if I have time to write an essay every week. Which is the way that you do movie reviews. Because I don't like, there's two kinds of movie reviews. There's the kind of movie review that I like, which is where they do a retrospective on the movie and talk about it, and talk about its details, the budget and the director and the stars and what the movie's trying to say, and elements of its storytelling prowess and its verisimilitude and all of that stuff. And then there's the other kind where it's just a guy recapping the movie to you in real time, just telling you every scene. I don't enjoy that. I've already seen the movie. I don't want to hear somebody tell me that the movie happened. I got it. Let's talk about the movie. Let's expound on it. Make it, I want some more content, so I'm looking for it. So if I were going to review movies, that's what it would be. It would be me delving into the movie and trying to understand it. What was the purpose for it being made? That sort of thing. Which pretty much cut out all the superhero movies and sci-fi, because modern day sci-fi just sucks. There's nothing there. Debbie's here. She says, Team Jacob. Mabel, right? I'm on Team Sparkly Vampire. He sparkles. Amanda.
Hamburger helper hand, Debbie.
My voice does not want me to talk tonight. And Debbie, what have you seen recently? You got any good movies to recommend? Fab Daddy recommended Frankenstein.
Yeah, Debbie's got a movie called Keep Kevin in the Basement.
Fab Daddy says, I must say, I get tired of seeing the ambiguous gays in movies. It's not needed for the storyline. I agree. That and race-swapping characters. I don't like that either. For two reasons. Number one, it's insulting to the black guy. I mean, are you not capable of carrying a movie on your own? You have to take every character that somebody's already made? I don't think that's good. I wouldn't want to do that. If I were an actor, I would be mad if they kept putting race-swapped things on me. Let me be my own actor. And number two, it usually is to the detriment of the story. A good example of that would be The Little Mermaid. I mean, It's the Little Mermaid. Ariel is a redhead. You put a black chick in that movie, it doesn't work anymore. It doesn't make any sense anymore. So they don't even consider that. And if you say anything about it, you're a racist. No, I'm not a racist. I just like to stay true to a story. And you don't have to make every character gay. The show Starfleet Academy had an episode last week. They're on episode number 4 this week. So there's only 4 episodes. Episode 3, 5 people came out as gay in one episode. You think they're trying to tell you something? I don't care if you're gay. It doesn't matter to me if you're gay. If that's what floats your boat, fantastic. I don't need to know about it. I don't care what you do as long as you don't get any of it on me. And Debbie says, I watch old movies. There hasn't been a new one that I've really liked. Most are just okayed. I hear you. Fab Daddy says they cloned Tyrone. They Cloned Tyrone was a decent movie. I don't think I've seen that. They Cloned Tyrone. I'll look into it. I don't know what that is, but it sounds like a exploitation movie, and I like those. Yeah, Debbie, I watch a lot of old movies too because they don't make good movies anymore. Patty's phone stopped working, everybody. Do you have to be gay to play a gay person? Asks Patty. According to the way people are thinking in Hollywood now, if you're not gay, you better not play a gay person because you're taking jobs away from gay people, which is retarded. It's called acting. Everything you play is a character that you're not really. But that's the way they think these days. There's been like 4 movies that have come out in the last decade where, like, say, Scarlett Johansson played a transgender man or something like that, and those movies have been utterly yanked off the shelves because they're offensive, problematic, ridiculous. You don't ever hear anything about those movies. Tom Hanks played a gay guy in Dallas Buyers Club. That was a fantastic movie. He's not gay, so I don't think you do. But if you listen to modern Hollywood, they say a bunch of crazy things. It's like the new people that took over for the old people are allergic to making money. That's what I think it is. I think they just don't like making a profit because they are certainly shooting themselves in the foot every chance they get. What time they're not shooting directors, that is. Which has happened, believe it or not. Oh. What is his name? Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin shot a director in the face in his last movie and did not go to jail for it. Amazing. Fab Daddy says, who puts movies on shelves? Everything is streamed these days. Well, that was a figure of speech, Fab Daddy, meaning that the movie didn't see the light of day. I don't know if they released it or not, but they released it in no fanfare if they did, because I haven't heard of it since they were making it. But it was a Scarlett Johansson movie that I was referring to. So she's a big-time actress, and you don't hear about that movie at all. I mean, it's persona non grata. So that was what I meant. And everything is streamed these days, but they are doing theater-only movies still. Debbie says, marry me. Oh, are you asking me to marry you? Oh, it's a new movie, and it was good and kid-friendly. Jennifer Lopez. Okay. Jennifer Lopez movies good? The last movie she was in was a sci-fi movie, and it was decidedly not good. She played the pilot of a robot. And apparently, she thought that was going to be like her launch into action movies at 60-something years old. It wasn't. But I'll look into it. Marry me. For a 60-something-year-old, though, she still has a nice butt. I'll give her that.
It's called a BBL.
It is that. What's the L stand for?
Lift.
Oh,
Brazilian butt lift.
that is not what I was thinking.
I know what you were thinking.
Debbie says, hard to screw up a part about being a professional singer, haha, right? And Fab Daddy says, yeah, she worked its AI to destroy an AI server. Horrible film. Yeah, that's the one. She worked with AI, right. Yeah, it was not a good movie. It was very poorly done. And also, what can you do with a 60-something-year-old woman? So it was an action movie, or it was supposed to be an action movie. And I think they went over, they bit off more than they could chew in that instance. It reminded me of one of those later Bruce Willis movies, you know, the direct-to-DVD movies where some other guy played him for most of the movie, and they have him in one scene where he's sitting on a park bench reading his lines, and they call it a Bruce Willis movie just so he could cash in. It reminded me of that. And Fab Daddy says, she ain't no Laura Croft. No, she's not. And speaking of Laura Croft, they are making a new Tomb Raider movie as we speak. And the woman who was in that show, The Flea, I can't think of her name, but she's the one that was in the new Indiana Jones movie. Phoebe Waller-Bridge, that's her name. She's the one writing it. And they got some British girl to play Laura Croft. It's going to suck. I mean, she wrote Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, or she was involved in it. So, all you got to do is watch that movie to see what's coming with the new Laura Croft movie. It's not going to be good. Debbie says, marry me. Jennifer Lopez character is supposed to marry another singer on a national TV show. Right before she goes on stage, she finds out that he's a cheater. So she marries a guy in the audience. That's like The Bachelor times 10. I like it. Fab Daddy says, Laura Croft finds Carmen Sandiego. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? I can't believe you can't spell San Diego. I mean, you live in the state. You can spell Bernardino, can't you? Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? I used to love that cartoon. Now, there's a property they could turn into a movie. I wonder why they haven't. I think they turned Blue's Clues into a movie. They definitely turned Dora the Explorer into a movie. Why no Carmen Sandiego? Fab Daddy says the English teacher failed me. Me too, buddy. Me too. Don't feel bad. Literally, not figuratively. Well, now you know the difference between Santiago and San Diego. So, I won't fail you, Fab Daddy. I got your back. All you need is a map. The map, the map, the map, the map. I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map. Swiper, no swiping. It was actually a pretty good movie, though. Dora the Explorer. Surprisingly so. Although, they figured out a way to make a little Spanish girl seem hot. And I'm not sure I like that. And I'm okay with that. And I'm not okay with that. Kind of lets you know where their minds are at. I'm just saying. You think Diego is along for the ride? I'm just saying. 49 days until spring. I got cabin fever, says Linda, right? Well, you can get out there in the snow and frolic around like a teenager for like 10 minutes. And then spend the next 2 weeks in traction. And then it'll be spring. Amy says San Diego is a tourist trap. It's too expensive. I hear you, Amy. How are you, sweetie? Amanda?
Hamburger helper, hey, Amy.
And the Gabba. I've never been to San Diego. I've never been to California. I've been close. I went to Oklahoma one time. Drove through Texas for 3 days and then jumped over into Oklahoma and stood inside of a tree the size of my house. That was pretty interesting. And then settled in Texarkana. Anybody know where that's at?
I do.
Fab Daddy says, my son was a child when Dora came out. Right? I watched enough swipes to be swiping to the last of a lifetime. I watched enough swipers swiping to last a lifetime. Right. Yeah, I did too. My kids were watching that for a while. That and Barney. You want to talk about wanting to kill an animal with a man inside. Linda says, slipped getting in my truck yesterday and my back is out. But I still have things to take care of. Right on. I'm sorry your back's hurting, honey. Gotta be careful getting in and out of things. Fab Daddy says, was very glad to watch Adventure Time with my son. That cartoon is the bomb, Jake the dog. Is that the one that's all weird? And the guy's got, like, ears and a backpack? I think that's the one my son watched. It's like a trip. A bad cartoon with a trippy... By bad, I mean drawn. It's drawn badly. Is that the one I'm thinking about? I think that's Jake the dog. Yeah, okay. That's a trippy-ass cartoon. My son was watching that, and he loved it. And I was like, what in the hell are you looking at? Like a bad dream. It's definitely a weird cartoon. You got to be a pot smoker to watch that. Adventure Time is the name of it, right? I don't know that that's better than Dora the Explorer, but Finn and Jake. All right. My daughter liked Milo and Otis, and my son liked Adventure Time and SpongeBob. And I could just feel my IQ points dropping when we watched those shows. But I drew the line at Teletubbies. That show came on one time, and I'm like, you're never watching that again. Nope, that's not coming to my house. That's a weird cartoon. That's one of those brainwashing type cartoons. I don't think it's a cartoon. I think it's live action, but I don't know because I didn't watch it. The intro did it for me. I'm like, I would give anything for Pictionary right now. Or Reading Rainbow. Where is LeVar Burton when you need him? Or Fat Albert? Fat Daddy says, I drew the line with Barney. Oh, I loved Barney. Barney was a great babysitter. But I got kind of sick of it because they'd watch those tapes over and over and over and over and over all day long, every day. We had like 20 tapes, and they went through every one of them 1,000,000 times.
Me too, Fab.
Blue's Clues wasn't bad. It wasn't. I kind of like Blue's Clues. At least it was educational. The guy was a little weird, a little creepy, but his content wasn't bad. I mean, I grew up with Mr. Rogers, so I understand about a guy being a little creepy, but the content wasn't bad. But I miss Mr. Rogers and Captain Kangaroo, that sort of thing, and Reading Rainbow. And even Sesame Street back then. But now Sesame Street, not the same animal. Jim Henson don't run that place no more. And the Muppets. Remember the Muppets? Then the Muppet Babies. And I can't remember the name of it. Melody something or other. The cartoons. Warner Brothers cartoons.
The Merry Melodies?
Merry Melodies. Maybe that's what it was. Yeah, those cartoons were great. Tom and Jerry. And the Roadrunner and Coyote. Yep, I'm dating myself, but that was good TV. Tweety Bird. Fab Daddy says Elmo burned Sesame Street down. I don't blame him. Linda says, down in Fraggle Rock. I love Fraggle Rock. But that was way later in life. That was not when I was a kid. Amy says Blue's Clues went woke, teaching young kids about Transformers. Oh, yeah, I know. But when it first came out, there's been like 3 guys to do Blue's Clues. The first guy wasn't bad.
The first guy, the original Steve, wasn't bad.
Yeah, but after that, it got more and more progressively gay as time went on. And now I'm pretty sure it turns people gay. Debbie says, the way I got through Barney was singing. I hate you, you hate me. We're a dysfunctional family with a great big kick and a slap from me to you. Won't you say you hate me too? Nice. I just pictured what Barney did in his downtime.
I just want to hang Barney from the nearest tree.
You know, after his success dried up and he's struggling to get a job and he's ends up turning tricks in the alleyway to keep his head above water. Fab Daddy says, I always thought that Bert and Ernie sharing a bathtub was kind of gay. So did I. They didn't share a bathtub, though. They shared a bedroom and slept in separate beds. And if there was an episode when they were in the tub together, I missed that one. But I also kind of thought they were gay, too, when I was growing up. But we also had the Fairly Odd Couple, things like that. So that wasn't a new concept on TV. Rubber Ducky. Okay, well, you might be right. I didn't see that episode.
But they were both fully clothed.
Right. So they were essentially playing in the tub, not taking a bath together.
Yes. They were playing with the rubber ducky in the tub.
Mm-hmm. But when I was a kid, we took baths together when we were children, our cousins. So that's not unusual either. We're talking infants and 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds. And never boys and girls together.
Well, I have a picture of my son and my best friend's daughter in the jacuzzi tub, but they're both got the swimsuits on. He's got his shorts on, and she's got her bathing suit on. So I mean, it was just they wanted to play in the hot tub, so we let them play in the hot tub.
I mean, that was a normal thing when I was a kid, but
Yeah.
now it's frowned upon. But then again, so is disciplining your children, which I think is an essential necessity. I think that's what's wrong with the world. People don't discipline their kids. But you listen to the wokies and they'll say that's child abuse. No, child abuse is giving a 12-year-old a phone and unlimited access to the internet, the double-edged sword that it is. That's child abuse. Amy says, rubber's yucky. I agree. Ain't nothing but the real thing, baby. Amber says, I'd bathe my kids together when they were little. A single mom life, right? It seemed like the most convenient way to, if you got 5 kids, you get them all in there together. Yeah. Fab Daddy says, that will cure a headache. Oh, the goodie? Mm-hmm. Yes, it will. Which is a good thing, too. Right on time. Boy, you guys have been real talkative the last couple of days. Are y'all getting bored? Am I going to have to amp up the show? Just pump up the volume? Am I going to sacrifice a goat live on TV or something?
Triple better hide.
All right. Is it time to plug your products? I don't have any products. What are you talking about? Kevin says, I'm calling it a night. Good night, everybody. Kevin? Well, God bless you, friend. I'm sorry you're not having a good time. I'll do better. I'll get in a fight with Fab Daddy tomorrow night. Come join us.
No.
God bless you and we love you.
Not a political fight with Fab Daddy.
Amber says, once they got older, yet no regrets. They weren't dirty or hungry. That's right. Oh, like that fancy cup, says Fab Daddy. My cup. Let's write down in the description below. You can get one if you like. Amanda says.
Not Kevin.
Debbie says, I'm just containing my Jezebel spirit. Daddy says, I see you got a swag bath mat. I do. How you like that? And I'm sure there's other things down there too. I mean, you might get a screwdriver or a can opener or a chainsaw or a flamethrower. I'm not sure about those last two, but go check it out. And Linda says, good night, Kevin. Amber says, good night, Kevin. Have a wonderful night and get some rest. I hope you do get some rest, buddy. Don't work too hard out there. Please be safe. Bath mats. There's a shower curtain in there too, Fab Daddy.
There's beach towel and all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Pillow.
A throw pillow, not a full pillow.
Pillow.
I'm not the pillow guy. I mean, come on. You gotta be making the big bucks to be the pillow guy. I'm the throw pillow guy. My mustache is nastier than his is, though. Bill Bennett says, I'm sleepy as can be myself. It's been a rough week. Below zero working outside. Ooh, been there, done that. Don't like it. Good to see you guys. And thanks, Jake. And all prayers. Well, Bill, get you some rest, buddy. We love you. Maureen Flood, hey, long time no see. She says, like, shared, and sorry I'm late to the party, but at least I made it. That's right. How are you, dear?
Maureen, have a great helper hand, and good night, Bill.
And Linda says, good night, Bill. Maureen says, hi, Amanda and Jake. Hi, how are you? Is it cold enough for you? Fab Daddy says, ever heard of people that create their own alcohol from eating starches? Yes, there's a disease that some people have that can make that happen. They get all of the effects of being drunk, even though they haven't drank any alcohol. And some have been caught and had DUIs issued to them because of it, and then won on technicality when they went to court because of the medical condition. So they're telling the cop, I don't drink. And he's like, but you're drunk, so you're getting a DUI. I have heard of that, but I can't remember what it's called. Amber says, Bill, good night. Hearts and prayers. Maureen says, I'm hanging in there. That's all you can do, Maureen. Amber says, Maureen, hearts. Happy Friday. Linda says, Maureen, wave your hand. Maureen says, hi, Amber Grounds. Seen any good movies lately, Maureen? We're kind of sort of talking about movies tonight and other things. Maureen says, hi, Linda. And Daddy says, they cured a guy by putting a healthy person's bile into a person without that syndrome. And I was thinking about reverse bile into mine. Are you wanting to be cured of alcoholism? Is that what you're saying? Or are you just kind of getting into the idea of shoving somebody's poop into your pooper?
No, I think he wants to have the syndrome that makes you drunk every time you eat starch.
Oh, you want to get drunk every time you have French fries. Got it. That would be cheaper. That'd be cheaper. Yeah. I'm sure that it would work. If it's a gut biome issue that causes that, you could definitely get that parasite or whatever it is and have it put in you. And then you would have that problem. But I caution you to not do things with God's design that he didn't intend it to do, because it will backfire on you. And I want to produce my own alcohol, says Fab. I don't think they actually produce alcohol. I think the liver has a reaction that is similar to alcohol because of the yeast that's in their body and the fermentation of whatever they ate. I don't think it's like drinkable alcohol. They're just having the reaction to it because their body is producing that kind of enzyme. I'm not sure you could like open a vein and pour out a frosty cup. Ethanol, maybe, yeah. I don't think you could like put a tap on your femur, you know. I start calling you Keg Man. And stick one of those pumps in your butt. Do keg stands. Maureen says, I'd think choosing the drink on days you want to get drunk would be easier. You're probably right about that. I think that all things in moderation, and as long as you know what you're doing, if you want to get drunk and you set out to get drunk, then by all means, go get you a bottle and get hammered. The problem comes is when you can't avoid getting drunk and you're not trying to get drunk, you have an issue. You're an alcoholic, right? So always be honest with yourself and direct your behavior, and you'll be a lot better off. If you can't be honest with yourself, you got bigger problems than the alcoholism. And Fab Daddy says that's what their gut produces, ethanol. Liver can't keep up, so it enters the bloodstream. Right. Again, though, it's not drinkable. It's all in chemical form. It's a byproduct of how they process the starches. So it only affects them. Like you couldn't drink their blood and then have a alcoholic reaction. It wouldn't work that way. It would only work that way if your body had the same overabundance of enzymes that caused the problem in their body. If that makes any sense. I was unaware that it was a gut biome issue. I thought it was a disease, but it makes sense. There was a guy in the 70s, walked into an ER complaining of a stomach ache. And as he walked up to the counter, he fell over dead right there in the floor. So they got him up on a gurney and wheeled him into an OR and was preparing to do an autopsy to see what killed the guy. And while they were talking amongst themselves, his gut started swelling up. So the doctor reached over there and made a small incision on his chest, right, or his belly, about an inch long, and green ooze puffed out of it, oozed down his side of his belly, and then that accompanied by a smell, and everybody in the room fell over dead. And it was declared a hazard, and they shut the building down and quarantined it. And they never could figure out what the hell happened. They didn't have the scientific knowledge or technology to figure it out back then. It was like 40 years later that they figured it out. The guy had a gut biome issue, and it caused whatever he ate to turn into basically mustard gas. And when they cut his stomach open, it escaped and killed everybody in the room. How about that for a scary story? And I have no idea whether it's true or not. This is a story I heard along the way somewhere. But I've heard it more than once, so there's some validity to it. And Maureen says, yikes, that does not sound good at all. It's just one of those stories that was passed around in the 80s of something that happened in the 70s. Kind of like the Richard Gere with the gerbil. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? Amazing that you know what I'm talking about, and somebody in Canada would know what I was talking about, and somebody in Germany would know what I was talking about, and we did not have the internet in those days, and yet everybody has heard that story. Interesting. My point is that word gets around, internet or not. If there's a good story, it gets passed around. What's the craziest story you've ever heard like that? Do tell. Amy, I know you got a good one. Come on, come on, come on. Fab Daddy says they used TNT to get rid of a whale's carcass that washed up ashore in Oregon. I've heard of that story. Maureen says, I've even heard that story, LOL. Of course, I've been here since 1962, right? Which one? The one about the gerbil or the one about the gaseous tummy? Both of those were stories being passed around in the day, which have some grain of truth, obviously, but I don't know how far it goes. The gerbil? Yeah. Yeah, everybody's heard that story, and there was no internet. But somebody made the grave error, or maybe it was to their fortune, of telling someone that story, and it spread like wildfire all over the world. And the sad thing is Richard Gere denies it. He says that never happened. Don't know if it did or not. And if you think about it, it doesn't make any sense. That would be very disgusting to start with, and also it would kill the gerbil. And also, it would kill Richard Gere because gerbils have claws and teeth, and your rectum is not the most secure place in the body. I would say he'd probably bleed to death if that actually happened, but there's some truth to that story somewhere, or it wouldn't have got told. Maureen says, and I'm the youngest of 5, so I've heard a lot, right? Well, the weird part about that is it happened in the 80s, and in the 80s is when I heard it. So when it happened, or when Richard Gere was coming on the scene, that story went all over the world at that time. So it's not like something that propagated years later. It was happening in real time. Everybody was talking about it. It's probably what ruined his career, because he's a great actor. The last real good role I can think of was that, what was it, Fear? Primal Fear. That's it, Primal Fear. That's the last good role he was in. Fab Daddy says it blew parts over a mile. Covered the reporters and spectators with rotten blubber. Never again did use DNT to get rid of whale carcasses. Well, it didn't blow chunks over a mile, because that's not how physics works. Or shrapnel. But I'm sure it did fling it a long ways. Not a mile, though. A nuclear bomb wouldn't throw it over a mile. Like, when you watch the Discovery Channel, and they'll show a planet, and an asteroid hits the planet, and it starts with a little circle, and then it just spreads all over the planet with a big ball of fire, and they go around the planet as it engulfs the whole thing in flames. That's not true. That's not how dirt works. There's a lot of that in Hollywood. And a lot of it has come into the scientific realm. And by that, I mean fakery. That's not scientific. All you got to do is go look at the asteroid impact in Arizona. You'll see a big crater. It looks like the asteroid was like a mile in diameter. It's a very big hole in the ground. But only about 100 yards past the crater, the rim, you can see a debris field, a couple 100 yards, and that's it. As it kicks up dust. It did not turn the whole planet into an engulfing flame and block out the sun for years. That's just not how it works. If you want a good analogy of what it looks like, go find you a shotgun, go outside, point it at the ground, and pull the trigger. But load a good slug in it first. And watch as the slug hits the dirt, and watch how the dirt kicks up behind the slug and falls, and you'll get a good analogy that scales. You can scale that up to the size of an asteroid. That's what would happen. And that's about the same speed it would hit the Earth. Although the slug is solid, if an asteroid hits the Earth, it would not be solid, because it's going to have to fight friction all the way to the ground, which will superheat it and cause it to turn into molten lava before it ever hits the ground. So when an asteroid that size hits the Earth's atmosphere, it is not solid when it hits the ground. It can't be. Maureen says Hollyweird loves exaggerations. Yes, they do. Not only do they've made bank on it for generations. That's literally what they sell in Hollywood. Exaggerations. Another good thing you could do with whale blubber or a carcass is just chop it up into little bitty bits, put it back in the ocean, and the ocean will take care of it. I don't know why they're trying to blow it up with TNT. If the asteroid is made of metal or if it's made of anything, it still has to go through the friction of the atmosphere, which is exactly proportioned to the speed that it's going, which will heat it up and liquefy it. Doesn't matter what it's made out of. That entire asteroid will not hit the ground. A portion of it will. And if it's made out of metal, maybe a larger portion will get to the Earth. But believe me, it cuts it down considerably. There was one that was recorded in 1908 that hit Russia, somewhere in Siberia. And it was a big asteroid. I don't remember how big, like 2 football fields in size, something like that. But it never made it to the ground. It knocked over a bunch of trees and exploded in the air. It didn't even make an impact crater. We do have rockets that make it to the ground, but they are slowly coming in. They're not traveling at speeds. If you took that same rocket and hit the Earth at full speed, it would never make it to the ground. It would burn up in the atmosphere. The only reason it can make it to the ground is because it's coming slowly, allowing time for it to cut through the Earth's atmosphere. See, you know the old expression that if you jump off of a bridge and you hit the water, it's like hitting concrete because of the distance of the fall, and water acts like a solid when it's compressed because you don't break the surface tension. Now, if you threw a rock and then jumped off the bridge, you would hit the water right after the rock did, and that would break the surface tension and you'd just go in the water. That's the smart move. Likewise, if you enter the Earth's atmosphere at a 45-degree angle, or whatever angle it is that's an angle, you can cut through the atmosphere slowly and make your way to the ground. And even at that, they heat up to red hot while they're going through the upper portion of the atmosphere, even while they're going slowly. So that'll tell you right there that if you sped up, it would get hotter and they would disintegrate before they ever got through the upper layers. But if you come in at a straight pace right into the atmosphere without curving, if you just hit the atmosphere straight on at full speed of an asteroid, which is like 27,000 miles an hour or something like that, it's going to burn up before it hits the ground most of the time. If nothing else, it's going to break up into little bitty pieces before it gets there. We get hit by a lot of asteroids every year, and very few of them ever make it to the ground. And the ones that do are like pebble-sized by the time they get here. Yes, angle of entry is important. That's correct. Not only angle of entry, but speed is important also. Remember, the rockets are slowing down. They're firing retro thrusters the whole way down. And they have parachutes. The old ones did. I don't know if the Elon Musk ones do or not. I think they just have a retro thruster. But the old ones came in, it was a capsule, and they came in with parachutes and then fired thrusters to counteract the fall. So they cut their fall in half by the time they got the parachutes out. They were no longer going at terminal velocity, which is 127 miles an hour. 127 miles an hour, yeah. Angle of impact makes a difference too. Yes, it does. Amber says, I just finished an entire bag of apple chips. Oh my gosh, greedy. What is an apple chip? Are you talking about dehydrated apple slices? Or are you talking about potato chips that have an appley flavor? Amber says, whoa, I was craving those. Hopefully that satisfied the munchies. What you need is some Doritos, baby. Fab Daddy says, subsonic. Amy says, in Mitchell, Indiana, the Gus Grisham Museum, they have asteroids on display, as do most museums. All of them are tiny. Or like the size of my fist. None of them are big. The ones that they find, like the Chicxulub asteroid, the one that hit the South America that left a 6-mile crater, the one that killed all the dinosaurs but left all the rabbits alone. Yeah, that one. That was 6 miles wide, and it didn't turn the Earth into a ball of fire. And the core of it is in the ocean in the center of that crater, and they found it. And it was made out of iron, and it took a 6-mile crater. It took an iron asteroid to hit the ground to make that. And that was, ain't no telling how big it was when it entered the atmosphere. But by the time it hit the ground, it was 6 miles wide. Oh, you're going to get me on that, I see. Meteor, not asteroid. They're asteroids if they're in space. They're meteors if they hit the ground. Got it. They're meteoroids if they hit the ground. Amber says they're like veggie straws. Healthy, LOL. Oh, kind of. You mean flavorless. Got it. Amber's, Fab Daddy says, Amber, good for you. Sounds delicious. I mean, if you're trying to watch your health, you'd be better off to eat an actual vegetable like cauliflower or broccoli or celery. Don't eat celery. It takes more calories to eat celery than you're going to lose by its nutrition or gain by its nutrition. It costs more to eat celery than it does to have celery in you. So that's useless food. But everything else, kale is really high in nutrients and also tastes terrible. But really good for you. Spinach, anything like that. But if you just got the munchies, carrot sticks, that'll satisfy your craving for munchies. And it crunches. Amy says, not when celery is in stew. Well, it tastes good in stew, but it provides no nutritional value. But it does taste good in stew. Fab Daddy says, not if you put peanut butter in the celery. Now, well, that's not celery. That's a peanut butter stick with celery holding it together. Believe me, there's way more nutrition in the peanut butter than there is in the celery. Look into it. You'll see I'm right. Amber says, type 1 diabetic life. Kind of healthy, mostly not. I hear you. Still, it can't be bad for you to watch how you eat and what you eat. That's not bad for you. And Fab Daddy says, sugar on cheese. Yeah. But pretty much, yeah. That's pretty much my diet. Sugar, cheese, and anything fattening I can cram in between those two things. Amber says, celery with peanut butter and then a few raisins. I hear you. Yeah, the raisins are good. The peanut butter is good. The celery is useful. You can dip with it.
Yeah, he gripes about wanting more vegetables at dinner, but he sits up all night eating snacks and junk food and cereal.
Not every night.
Almost.
No. Once a month.
Yeah, okay. Once a month continuously.
Amy says, I've been too busy to eat today. Now, you tell them the truth. I do not eat junk food every night.
What'd you have last night?
Nothing.
Oh, you didn't? You didn't have cereal bars last night?
Was that last night?
What'd you have the night before?
Nothing.
A bowl of cereal?
That was the last night.
No, that was the night before.
Whatever night I ate the cereal bar was the same night I ate the cereal.
No, you ate cereal bar, and honey bun last night, and then you ate cereal the night before.
Okay. Well, when did we get the cereal?
You got the cereal a couple days ago on your way home from work.
I got the cereal the night I ate it.
So that was a couple of nights ago, and then the next night you had snacks, and the last
When did
night
we
you
get
had
the
snacks. The day before yesterday.
That night. Yeah, that day. So, for the rest of the month, I won't eat any.
Yeah,
but while we got them, I do. You make it sound like I'm just cramming my face all night, every night, and that ain't true. The only thing I put in my body on a daily basis is coffee.
I know, but that's what I said. You complain about not having enough vegetables at dinner, and then you eat junk food all night long.
Explain to me how eating a cereal bar that's that big has anything to do with the nutritional value of eating vegetables for dinner every night.
Never mind.
There's a difference. Amy says, I've been too busy to eat today. Well, slow down and smell the roses, honey. Fab Daddy says, I want to try billion bacon. Well, what is billion bacon? I don't think I've ever even heard of it. I try to avoid things with the word billion attached to it for all reasons. Amber says, Fab, syrup on bread. LOLO. You can take syrup and a little peanut butter and mix it together and then put it on a half piece of bread and make you little half sandwiches out of that. That's pretty delicious. Peanut butter and syrup. Or molasses or Cairo syrup, something like that. Fab Daddy says, drizzled with ingredients. Amber says, what? Bacon? He said bacon. A billion? Sounds like it's fancy, says Amber. That's what I'm guessing. Agent Kyland says hi. Hello, Agent Kyland. Welcome to the show. Hit that subscribe button, like and share, and tell us a little bit about yourself. What brought you to the Untethered Live? Fab Daddy says 3 ingredients: brown sugar, pepper and chili flakes, and Billionaire's bacon. Bake in the oven and let it cool. Well, first of all, what is Billionaire's bacon? And how is that different than regular bacon? Are you talking about like Canadian ham? Or Canadian bacon, rather? Which is just a hunk of ham?
I wonder if it's that bacon, fat, grease stuff that they have.
I don't know. Are you talking about fatback? Because that's kind of bacon-ish, but way saltier. Amy says peanut butter and syrup on sugar is pretty good. Yep.
Butter and sugar on French toast is even better.
Yes. Amber says, growing up, my favorite sandwich was peanut butter and honey. There you go. Same thing.
Peanut butter and banana and peanut butter and mayonnaise.
Gross.
Yum.
Amy says, sounds like Canadian bacon. That's what I said. No, sorry, candied bacon. I've heard of that before now. My boss talks about making candied bacon. I've never had that either. Linda says, I've done that peanut butter and syrup thing when I was young. Yummy. I forgot about that. I'm going to have to try that again. I'm telling you. Peanut butter and syrup or peanut butter and honey works just as good. And if you don't have any bread, you can make you a hoe cake. Get a little piece of flour, put it in a bowl, add a little bit of water and salt, mix it up till it's nice and you know,
Doughy.
firm, not doughy. You want it to be a little bit soupy
Like
so you can
cake
pour
batter.
it out.
Like cake batter.
Yeah, a little thinner, just thin enough you can pour it out, and then get your pan hot. Use a skillet, an iron skillet. Put a little bit of butter in the bottom of it and get it hot, and pour that on there until it bubbles just like a pancake. Flip it over and you got hoe cake, self-rising. Don't use all-purpose, self-rising. It'll rise, be about that thick, and makes a good cake that you can sop up your peanut butter and syrup with. 10 minutes, you got a nice meal. And it's tasty. It's surprisingly good bread. Just a little bit of flour and a little bit of salt. That's it. And water. Amber says, Fab, spicy? I don't really go for spicy unless it's chili and with cornbread. Chili with cornbread? Gross.
Sweet cornbread.
I got it. Maureen says, I grew up on peanut butter and mayonnaise sandwiches.
Peanut butter mayonnaise is good.
And that's, you and Amanda can have that. I grew up on mayonnaise and jelly, so I'm on the other side of the tracks.
Peanut butter and banana sandwiches are good too.
Mayonnaise and grape jelly makes a surprisingly interesting sandwich. I'm not saying it's good, but if you're poor and that's all you got, you could do worse. Fab Daddy says, I just told you how to make it. Use regular bacon, sprinkle those ingredients. Okay. I didn't see those ingredients. Oh, brown sugar, pepper and chili flakes. But, you know, then you say billionaire's bacon, and I don't know what that is.
That's billionaire's bacon. It's candied bacon.
Okay. We're talking about the same thing. We're just calling it different things. Got it. Amber says, no doubt we're an American group. LOL. Bacon. Oh, oink, oink. Right on. Amber says, peanut butter and mayonnaise? Interesting. They say it's good. I can't picture it.
It's delicious. It is absolutely delicious.
However, a peanut butter toast and chili is good. That's a good flavor combination, and I wouldn't have thought that before I tried it. And I'm kind of into flavor combinations in that way. That being said, I don't like my food to touch. But other than that, I kind of like certain things. Like collard greens and ketchup.
Yuck.
Try it. Don't knock it till you've tried it.
Tried it. That's like eggs and ketchup. I don't like that either. Or macaroni and cheese and ketchup. How are you gonna ruin some macaroni and cheese?
And listen, the eggs thing, I've tried that, and I can see why people like that. I don't like that, but I can see why people do. It does have a flavor. I don't like it, but I can see why people do. Fab Daddy says, you don't need the chili flakes, but the fat from the bacon renders with the brown sugar, and it is caramelized. It caramelizes the bacon. Got it. We'll definitely try that. And Linda says, I've had peanut butter and mayonnaise and banana.
Yeah, it's good.
Try it on white bread, mayonnaise and grape jelly on white bread. Try that. And if you get wild, throw a piece of bologna on there. You'd be interested. Amy says, yep, that's candied bacon. Got it. Amber says, Fab, sounds like what Nana Carter would put on a ham to bake with pineapple rings and cherries. Yep. Linda says sour cream with honey dip pita pieces in it. What, pita bread, you mean? Like break it up into chunks? Interesting. Yeah. Amber says, no. Maureen says tomato sandwiches are good too. Absolutely. If the tomatoes come from Georgia, yes.
I'd just take a tomato and slice it and put some mayonnaise on it and eat it.
Yeah, but do that on a sandwich.
Yeah,
mayonnaise on the sandwich, tomato, salt, and pepper. Yeah.
But I'm not a big bread person, so I don't like a whole bunch of bread. I'd rather just slice my tomato and put mayonnaise on it and cut it up and eat it. Delicious.
Amber says peanut butter and marshmallow is yummy.
Yeah.
I could see it, but Debbie says, I'm boring, I suppose. Just peanut butter on toast for me. I'm with you. Amber says, Linda, ... Maureen says, yeah, also, we're eggs with ketchup, too. And Linda says, it's a Greek thing, Amber. You wouldn't understand. Amy says, regardless of people's personal preferences of food, we're all blessed to have it from God. Amen. Maureen says, I'll have to try that, Jake. You should. I learned it from being poor, but it does work. Also, if you get in a pinch, you can pile a little mound of sugar on a plate and pour a little bit of coffee on top of it and mix it up and sop your toast up with it. Then you make instant syrup. Put a little instant coffee grounds on top if you want it to be darker. And give it a little bit of kick. Maureen says, I love some fried bologna sandwiches. Me too. Fried bologna and mustard on toast. That's delicious. And you cut a little Pac-Man square out of it, or triangle. Make it Pac-Man so it don't swell up in the middle. And that sound of pressing the bologna down on the frying pan. Psst, 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 psst. Something about that. Maureen says, have you tried cream tuna on toast or macaroni? Cream tuna? I've not tried cream tuna.
Yeah, it sounds almost like tuna casserole.
Cream tuna. That sounds like putting tuna in a blender on frappe.
It's a tuna and cream of chicken or cream of mushroom or celery, and then you put the egg noodles in there and you can bake it. And yeah, that sounds like tuna casserole.
Fab Daddy says, I made tuna surprise casserole 2 days ago. By that, do you mean you put a can of dried tuna in a bowl and put mayonnaise and mustard and salt and pepper and mixed it up and then flapped it onto a sandwich? Because that's what I do all the time.
That's tuna salad.
That's poor man's tuna casserole.
That's tuna salad.
Whatever. Cream tuna is mushroom soup with a tuna mixed in and heated up. Okay.
Yeah, that's tuna casserole, yes.
Amber says sweet peas mixed with tuna and mac and cheese is very good and inexpensive meal. Yes. I do noodles, peas, and cheese, please. That's a bag of ramen noodles, half a can of green peas, and some cheese on top.
Ugh.
Shredded or sliced, either way. Mix it all together and eat it up. It's good. Noodles, peas, and cheese, please. And a little bit of tuna if you want some meat. That's an inexpensive meal. That's right next to a mound of rice and a chicken pot pie on top.
Take some rice, put some butter and salt in it, and eat it.
With a chicken pot pie on top.
No, just plain butter and rice.
Hey, this is my fantasy. You shut the hell up.
I had Jake finally try jasmine rice.
Wasn't bad. Amber says, Fab, what's the surprise? That it wasn't cooked. That was the surprise. Linda says, pork roll, egg, and cheese on hard roll, Jersey breakfast. Right on. Is that an egg roll? Sounds like an egg roll. Excuse me. What exactly is a pork roll egg?
Egg pork roll.
You just rearranged the words. It still didn't tell me what it is.
It's a Chinese pork roll thing.
If it is a pork roll egg, why put it on a hard roll? Isn't it already a roll? I don't understand. Maureen says, I was one of those feral, allowed to roam kids growing up in New York. You mean a latchkey kid? Amber says, I love white rice and egg with a little soy sauce. I can't eat soy sauce. It'll make your penis fall off. I stay away from all forms of soy. That's bad for your masculinity. Do not eat soy. Well, rice and eggs, that's kind of strange. I've never had those together.
It's a Chinese thing.
It sounds like it. Asshole. What'd you call me?
Asshole.
Amy says, punctuation is important. Add commas. Right on. Fab Daddy says, the surprise is it was made from all canned goods, with the exception of the noodles. And I added cheddar cheese and breadcrumbs. That is casserole.
Yep. You can take and squish up like Lay's regular potato chips and put them on top too as your crust. It's pretty good that way too.
Linda says it's a breakfast sandwich. The pork roll is kind of a mix between bologna and a Canadian bacon. Okay. Are you talking about country ham? Because that's kind of a cross between bologna and Canadian bacon, too. Has it got a bone in it? Like a ribeye steak? Maureen says, no, North Carolina is sort of parents had drugstore, and I went where I wanted to as long as I had checked in once in a while. I got you. Well, I live in North Carolina, and I grew up in Florida and Georgia, and I was one of those kids, too, that went wherever I wanted to. I'd stay gone all day. Sometimes I was gone for a couple of weeks. I always told my mom where I was, but I went. Very independent. I was living on my own when I was 12 years old, so. When I was 14, I was living with a woman and was a foreman at the job I worked at. Had my own condo. That's a true story. Maureen says, and I got home as the street lights came on, right? That's the way it was when we grew up. And it could be that way still, but we're way too invested in making sure our children are safe. Which, on the surface, does not sound like a bad thing. Amber says, thank goodness I have girl parts, and soy sauce isn't a treat, or isn't a threat, right? Thank goodness on that. I don't know if it hurts women or not, but it definitely hurts men. Amy says, finally get time to eat something. Tortilla chips and spinach dip, which ain't bad. That spinach dip's pretty awesome. If you got the bread bowl to go with it, you can just munch on that until it's gone. And Linda says, depending on which part of Jersey you're from, some call it Taylor ham. But that's a brand name. I got you. I'm thinking you're talking about country ham. That's what we call it. It's kind of salty. I think that's what we're talking about. Amber says, growing up in the street And growing up, the street light coming on meant time to go inside or trouble, right? Amber says, grandmother was firm on that. Maureen says, absolutely, Amber. Yeah, I pretty much just went wherever I wanted to, out in the woods or across town or whatever. Anybody's house I wanted to go to. My mom didn't know where I was at half the time.
Oh, but she did.
Yeah. That's a different story. Right now I'm talking about me. When I'm talking about her, I'll let them in on that secret. Yeah, she
Yeah, you already told him that, but I'm saying whether you realize she knew where you were or not, she knew where you were or had a very close idea of where you were.
She didn't keep her eyes off of me very much. Maureen says, absolutely, Amber. Linda says, still that way where I live. It's still that way where I live. Cool. We need to move to Pennsylvania. Amber says, salted ham, Linda. Fab Daddy says, all right, it's time for my 2 and 5. Yell at you tomorrow. All right, brother. Be good. I'm not far behind you. It's 10:30. I love you. Have a good one. Debbie says the street lights came on, and Mother said,
No. Get your MF&A in the house right now before I beat your ass. That's exactly what that says.
I know. It also says,
Night, Fab Daddy, and I know exactly what that says, Linda.
Amber says, have a wonderful night, Fab. I enjoyed the conversation with you tonight. Get some rest. Hearts and prayers. Amen. Hey, I'm going to go to bed too. Hey, hit that like button, subscribe, share, support, join, and super chat if you can. Feed Jake. I appreciate that very much. It's CashApp $ Jake Johnson Band. And I will see you guys tomorrow night. Come get politi-tickly with me. We'll politi-tickle each other to death.
Night, y'all.
Have a great night. God bless each and every one of you. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Stay warm.